Alright, for the new folks, we do a warm-up quiz every day. It's multiple choice. You just have to write A, B, C, or D on it. Answer should have been, whoops, answer should have been not C, but B. Number 2. Answer on this one is C. Number 3. A. Number 4. Answer is B. Pick a number from 1 to 20 and bring it up here. The winning numbers today are 2, 4, 8, 12, and 18.
It's the same numbers as yesterday.
Yeah.
Bring up the homework and show me what you have. Today's objective is to still simplify radical expressions. And here's example number 1. 4 square root of 32 is what we did yesterday, and I'll review a little bit more for people that were not here. Your list of perfect squares that you're going to look at are 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, and so on. Those are all the result of 2 squared, 3 squared, 4 squared, and so on, all the way down to 7 squared and beyond. What you want to do is see if there is a perfect square that will come out of 32. So what you do is you think half of 32 is 16. So you're not going to use anything higher than 16 because it won't be able to divide into it evenly anyway. And then start at your highest number and try to divide that into 32. Well, 16 will go into 32 twice. So you need the square root of 16. And what do I multiply 16 by to get 32? 2. So that's where we get square root of 16, square root of 2 equals 32. 16 is a perfect square, and its square root is 4. And then you multiply these two numbers to get 16 square root of 2 for the final answer. Example number 2. It's 80. So remember, the perfect squares are 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 64, and so on. Half of 80 is 40. So we don't want to even look at anything higher than 40. Start at the perfect square below that, 36. Will 36 divide into 80 evenly? No. Will 25 go into it?
No.
What about 16?
Yeah.
Yes, 16 will divide into it evenly. 16 times what is 80? 5. The square root of 16 is what? 4. And 5 times 4 from out here is 20. So your final answer is 20 square root of 5. The highest perfect square that will come out of 96 is 16, and 16 times 6 is 96. The square root of 16 is 4, so you should end up with 24 square root of 6. The highest perfect square that comes out of 120 is only 4. And you must multiply that by 30 to get back to 120. Square root of 4 is 2. So we have 12 square root of 30 for the final answer. Here's example 3. What's coming up next is this problem, and you have a square root in the denominator of the problem. You cannot have that, and you have to simplify it to where there's no square root in the bottom. What you do is this. When you have a square root on the bottom, you multiply the top and the bottom by the square root of 3 in this case, since that's what was on the bottom. And then go up to the top, keep your 2. 16 times 3 is 48. So we have square root of 48 there. On the bottom, square root of 3 times square root of 3 is simply 3. Any square root times itself is the number under the sign. You do not write the square root sign now.
Well, if it's square root of 9, just simplify down to 3, if you did that.
Right, yeah. Square root of 3 times square root of 3 is square root of 9, and the square root of 9 is 3. So to finish out the problem, you have to check to see if this can be simplified, and it can, because the square root of 16 will come out of it. It'll break up as 16 and 3. The square root of 16 is 4, and then 2 times 4 is 8. At this point, there's nothing more that can be done to it. Nothing else simplifies, so your final answer is 8 square root of 3 over 3. Here's example 4. You have a square root of 2 on the bottom in this one, so you're going to have to multiply the top and the bottom by the square root of 2. So on the top, you'll have 3 square root of 20 from square root of 10 times square root of 2. The 3 just tagged along. And the square root of 2 times itself is simply 2. Or you could think of it as the square root of 4, which simplifies to 2. But you have to simplify this because the square root of 20 can be simplified. The highest perfect square that comes out is 4. And the square root of 4 is 2. And 3 times 2 is 6. So notice that you can cancel the 6 and the 2. 2 goes into itself once, into 6 3 times. So there's nothing left on the bottom. Your final answer would simply be 3 square root of 5. You have to multiply the top and the bottom by the square root of 6. When you do that, you end up with 5 square root of 72 on the top and just a 6 on the bottom. The square root of 72 can be broken up as 36 and 2 and just a 6 on the bottom. Square root of 36 is 6, and notice that the 6's can cancel before you even multiply. So you should end up with 5 square root of 2 as your answer. You have to multiply the top and the bottom by the square root of 6. And when you do that, you get 3 square root of 12 over 6. The 12 can be broken up as 4 and 3. And the square root of 4 is 2. 3 times 2 is 6. And the 6's can cancel out. So square root of 3 is your answer.
Can you tell us the bracket results?